Hooray! It's been a bit of a while since the video on this channel, but I'm finally all prepped and ready to go to present my 200 subscriber special, and that's what this video is going to be. I'd like to apologize for the lack of videos. I've just been focusing a lot more on the Lord Redstar channel, since that's going to be pretty much my future in our YouTube for obvious reasons. But I felt like I did still have to repay some debts, like to make a 200 subscriber special, since I managed to make that double century. And so I've had a handful of ideas given to me. Dark Magician 84 primarily gave me a few ideas, so I'd like to thank him for that. But I've managed to come up with my own idea, and before I show that, I'm gonna just talk a little bit about this. This is the one. This is you may have seen this in one of the earlier decklist videos that I did. This is a new dice-based game called Dice Masters. Yu-Gi-Oh is not actually the only version of the game that has been released. There is a Marvel version out there, and the idea of the game is to basically use some energy, purchase dice, and basically summon monsters to attack your opponent with. It's not like a board game sort of thing like Dungeon Dice Monsters. It's got the similar feel to it. I got the similar feel when I saw it for the first time. But the idea is you basically summon your creatures directly and just basically swing with them. At the front, you'll see that there's a handful of rather classic base monsters. There's Lajin, Karibo, Dark Magician. I don't even think you can tell Dark Magician out there. Celtic Guardian. That would be Blue Eyes. This clear one down here, which I don't think anybody can see at all. Yeah, I don't think anybody can see it at all. That's our Harpy Lady, Red Eyes Black Dragon, and Time Wizard. So there's a handful of classic old monsters. Although those aren't the only ones. And, oh lovely. I'll just go ahead and do that. Just restarting the computer, so if you hear any weird sounds from there, then you'll know why. So I was thinking, it's an interesting game. I figured I'd give it a shot. I'm not too sure if there are any other people at my locals who have the game and can even play the game. And so in that regard, I decided I wanted to expand my collection and do an opening of a booster box. Or this is essentially the equivalent of a booster box. Because like any other card game, this game does have booster packs right here. Each booster pack contains 2 dice plus the 2 corresponding cards. Basically the way the field works out is you lay a handful of cards that basically give you all the data you need on the way that each of the dice works, like their special abilities, the size of the die that each one has, and also shows a limit to the number of die that you can place on a single card. So some, like maybe a Blue Eyes, will have 3, whereas an Egyptian God will only ever have a maximum of 1. So that's basically what I'm planning to do here. I'm planning to open just this booster box, which the thing on the listing on eBay said it was a gravity feed, which I can understand why it's a gravity feed, because there's just this, you know what, I'm actually going to show this off. Be prepared for this though, because it kind of surprised me when I saw the size of this thing. Then again, you know, considering the packs are X amount of size, I should have probably expected this. But yeah, I kind of understand the idea of gravity feed, because it just opens out like that and there's just a whole bunch of booster packs in there. And for my 200 subscriber special, we're going to open all 90 of these packs. That's it right there, 90 packs. So we're going to be in it for the long haul here, and each one's going to have 2 cards and 2 dice. I'm all prepared. I've got a ice cream, freshly washed up ice cream tub to store all the dice, and of course I can just stack all the cards up somewhere. So without any further ado, and while I'm here actually, because I've always been an unprofessional scrub, let's see if I can find the USB cable that I need to plug into this thing, because if I keep going at this rate, I'm going to, the thing is going to shut itself off due to a lack of power. Let me see. Okay, I'm gonna need to pull one of these plugs out of something. Okay, let's do that. Plug that in. Now it might be in here. Let me have a look. Many apologies. Just bear with me while I look for this bloody cable. It shouldn't be too far away. I kind of feel like I'm growing a little bit more professional nowadays. Like I actually when I was recording a couple of my LP segments last night, I found myself sounding a little bit more professional and was able to come up with some somewhat witty commentary. I think it's actually, whoa, jeez, stupid bloody... This wheel on my chair is kind of annoying. And a bunch of you probably won't even be able to hear what I'm saying because I'm that far away from the camera. Hopefully that picked it up, because then I'd probably have to bloody explain exactly what I said in the comments of the video. Okay, anyways, apologies for that. But now that I've got this all plugged in, we don't have to worry about the thing switching down on us, turning off on us. Okay, whereabouts am I going to put this thing? This should be right. Actually, wait, no. No, that should be right. Okay, so we're ready to crack this thing open. And so, here would be our first pack. Better set the bin up there. Okay, so, opening these packs are easy. There's these little divots in the top, so you just rip them off the top there. And this is one thing I actually quite like. They have this weird they have this white cover thing, which acts as like a protector. It's really nice. And so for the dice that we got, we picked up a marshmallow dice and a red eyes black dragon, as reflected here. You get 2 dice, and the cards that you get will always correspond to the dice, so that you won't have to worry about getting dice and having cards that don't work alongside them. They'll always be paired up in the convenient manner. So I'm quite happy with that. Not a bad start. Alright, let's see what we got here. I can pretty much tell exactly what the dice are going to be just by looking at them. And it looks like I'm getting a man-eater bug and a mystical elf with this one, in accordance to the die. Yep, there's the mystical elf, and there's the man-eater bug. That man-eater bug kind of sucks, because it doesn't have much of an effect. I know that there's a morphing jar as well that doesn't have an effect. Most of the monsters here are from pretty much the first season. Like, there'll be a handful from further seasons. Like, I know DMG is in this game, and Jinzo, which is that's a Jinzo die right there. The other one's a Kuribo. So yeah, there's Jinzo and there's Kuribo, which is quite nice indeed. I should probably point out, in terms of rarity of these cards, the way that the rarity works out, I should probably point this out, there's this little stripe that goes across here, and then up here. That stripe determines the rarity. I forgot what the colours represent. I believe grey is meant to be common. I think yellow's like uncommon. There's grey, yellow, green, and then red. Red I know is super rare, and they're really hard to get, I believe, and there are only 4 of them in this set. Come on, open up. That's the way. Oh, hang on. It's still sealed up a little bit from here. Come on, open up. Open up. Oh, stupid thing. Hope it's worth it if I'm putting this much labour into just opening this pack alone. Yeah, I suppose it's not so bad. I'm getting what appears to be a Summoned Skull and an Injection Fairy Lily. Well, there's the Fairy Lily, and there, in fact, is the Summoned Skull. I'm quite happy with that. What does Summoned Skull do? Whenever blah blah blah. Oh, that's not too bad. Instantaneous damage as soon as the opponent summons a monster, assuming it's of a high enough level. Yeah, that's one thing I should point out. Each of these die have 3 monster faces, all reflective of a specific level of that monster. Level 3 is obviously the highest, but of course it's going to cost more energy. So it looks like we're getting a Dark Magician and a Kuribo here. Yep, there's the Dark Magician, and there is the Kuribo. That's another Kuribo Yugi's Protector. They're actually different versions of the same card. That basically, I believe their abilities are different, and they also have a title underneath their actual name that changes between the versions. And here I have what looks like a pair of clubs and a shield and sword-like thing. So my impression is that I'm going to get Blade Knight and Goblin Attack Force. Okay, I was quite correct. Blade Knight and Goblin Attack Force. As soon as I saw the clubs, I knew I was getting Goblin Attack Force, because I have seen some booster pack openings of this game before, so I knew what the clubs were going to equal. And just in case anybody is wondering, it is actually possible to get the Egyptian gods in this. There are a number of different versions of Egyptian gods. 3 of the 4 super rare cards actually happen to be Egyptian god cards. Now, we're getting a Ring of Magnetism and another Summoned Skull here, it seems. There's the Summoned Skull, and there is a Ring of Magnetism. Now, it's not a monster, but it is actually a action card, so you can also use that in your team, I suppose. In tournament play, you're supposed to have 8 of those cards, plus 2 basic action cards, which is sort of like basic sort of spells and traps that you would see in the game. We have another pack with Man-Eater Bug and Mystical Elf in it, it seems. Yep, there's Mystical Elf and there's Man-Eater Bug. And it's Sectoid. For some reason I remember the first description of Kuwagamon in the first episode of Digimon referring to him as an Insectoid Digimon. I'm like, dude, it's a bug. What the hell is Insectoid supposed to stand for? I've got no idea. Okay, so let's open this up a little bit further because I didn't do a particularly good job at ripping the top off of it. We are getting a Kuribo and we are getting a Flame Swordsman because it is a flaming sword. Kuribo, and there's the Flame Swordsman. Have a look at that Flame Swordsman. Well, like that. When you summon a Flame Swordsman, the Flame Swordsman die with that data card on it. It gains +2 attack. That's quite nice. Its level 1 has 3, level 2 has 4, and its level 3. Level 3 has 6, so if you summon the level 3, it has 8 attack for the duration of the turn that you summon it. That is pretty bloody brutal. Okay, what do we have here? We have a Dark Magician, and we have our first Saga the Dark Cloud, which has no ability. And then there's the Dark Magician right there. "12 minutes. I expect we'll be here for another maybe 20. Oh, we've got a BLS. And a baby dragon, actually. This is the BLS die. And you can tell the baby dragon die because it's got its face there. There's the baby dragon. That, I believe, is an indicator that it is a 1000 dragon monster. I'm not 100% sure on that. I mean, it evolves on a 1000 dragon, but yeah, there's the BLS. BLS is bastard. If you attack with only fist monsters, it gets +1 attack. That's not too bad. So if you want to focus specifically on a fist type dice team, then that's your sort of thing. That being said, though, that's not exactly a good thing to have because there's a whole bunch of different kinds of dice in the game. So to focus specifically on one type of energy is not really that great. Looks like we're getting another BLS. Yep. Is it the same one? No, but it's actually a different one. And we're getting a Ring of Magnetism. I like how this image for the Ring of Magnetism is nothing like the artwork for it. The artwork is actually like a really ugly looking hand hop wearing some kind of a ring that apparently it's implied that it's magnetic. Let's see what else we got. Come on. Pull them out. Why are these not coming out? Okay, these are interesting ones. Let's have a look. Oh, we're getting that's the Millennium Puzzle. And 2 blades. That looks like Guy the Fierce Knight. Well, there's the Millennium Puzzle. And there's Guy the Fierce Knight. So yes, you can in fact get the Millennium Puzzle. What the hell's the Millennium Puzzle supposed to do? When rolled, move this to your field. It does not go to your used pile until used. You may discard this die to send 1 opposing monster to its used pile. That's like mind crushing an opponent's monster. That is awesome. You roll that thing and you decide, okay, I'm going to pick this one. Mind Crush. Oh god, I've got a morphing jar. I was kind of wondering what this symbol meant, but it turns out it's actually a morphing jar. That one right there. There's the Sagi, there's the morphing jar. Neither of those monsters had abilities. That's just lovely. So we're getting there, slowly. We're getting Injection Fairy Lily, and I'm going to be honest with you, I have no idea what the hell that is. Oh, it's the Lord of Dragons. Okay, that thing looks like it has a complex ability. Because it's got a global ability, blah blah blah, don't you shield more? Oh, okay. So if you have a shield-based deck, you can do that, and then there's Injection Fairy Lily, which does nothing. I know there's actually one Injection Fairy Lily that has an effect that is very similar to its actual propaganda effect. Like, I think you pay 2 life to give it an extra 3 points of attack. which is kind of reflective of the whole pay 2,000 to give it 3,000 attack. Okay, we have a marshmallow and this thing. I'm going to take a wild guess and say that it is... I was going to say Doom Caliber Knight, but I think it's a bit too powerful for it to be called that. And turns out it is anyway. It's Doom Caliber Knight. Nice. All this monster is active. It cannot be the target of action dice or abilities. Oh, fuck yeah. And if you pay a fist die, if you pay a fist energy when you attack, none of your monsters can be the target of action dice or card abilities. Although that is actually a global effect, which means both players get access to that ability, regardless of who owns the card. So that can be really annoying if you're going for a kill and then your opponent decides, I'm going to steal your ability. Mystical Elf and Guy the Fierce Knight, it looks like. Yep, that's those two. Mystical Elf, that card when someone gains you a life. One point of life. That's not too bad. I probably should have given some like fair warning to say, oh hey, we're in the long haul here, but whatever, it's a bit late now. We're getting a Harpy Lady, and what looks like a Cursive Dragon. Yep, there's the Cursive Dragon, and there's the Harpy Lady. Harpy Lady Cyber Slash. To be specific. Alright. Onward and upward. No Egyptian gods so far. It doesn't exactly surprise me because they are pretty bloody rare. I bet you the ratio is like 1 Egyptian god per box. That would be sad. Oh, but we got a Blue Eyes though. We can easily tell that's a Blue Eyes White Dragon right there. There's the Marshmallow. There is the Blue Eyes White Dragon. And that has a max of 2, surprisingly enough. That's interesting. You kind of figured with Blue Eyes you'd easily have a max of 3 at least, but I guess the creators of the game weren't really paying much attention to the whole tradition. Let me actually pull this section off. I should be able to pull these out now. Okay, cool. A thing with 3 eyes. I'm going to take a guess and say that that's Sangan. And then there's a handful of feathers. I got no idea what the feathers would represent, but I know that's Sangan. And, oh yeah, Harpy Lady Sisters. 3 feathers. Probably should have remembered that. You could build a Harpy-based team. Just have a handful of Harpies and then Harpy Lady Sisters. And a whole bunch of fist monsters to support them. Okay, we have another man-eater bug, it seems. And this is the symbol of a spell counter, which tells me that we're getting a Break of the Magical Warrior in here. There's man-eater bug, and there is in fact the Break of the Magical Warrior. So let's go ahead and grab these dice and pop them in here. Like I said earlier, there is actually a Marvel version of this game. That's actually, if you wanted to learn how to play the game, you'd have to have a look at the Marvel how-to. It's actually literally no different from from this version of the game. It's just you're using superheroes, and I believe that the 2 different versions are compatible with each other. So here we have a Jinzo and a Celtic Guardian. None of your other monsters block. The Celtic Guardian gets +4 defense. Interesting. So if you leave it to be alone in the battlefield, then it kind of just becomes a bit of a wall. Yeah, the little protective card here is right up the top. It's kind of... It's a bit delicate there trying to pull them out. Okay, we have Goblin Attack Force, and oh hey, that's a trap hole. You can tell because it's it's a hole with a hand sticking out of it, so you can tell it's a trap hole. There's the Goblin Attack Force, and there in fact is the trap hole. That's the trap hole thing that Joey created in the Virtual World arc. No, not the Virtual World, the other Virtual World one. The one that ended with the bloody 5-headed dragon fight. Okay. I'm going to take a random guess and say that this one here is a Thousand Dragon. And this one here is obviously a Flame Swordsman, so we're about to find out. It is in fact a Thousand Dragon. It is not the super rare one though. It is the green one, so it is probably like a common or some variety. No, I think the color coding is I could have a look at the color coding if I really wanted to. All I have to do is crack open the starter set. Like, I have actually opened it before, and that's the starter set box is the only real place that I have to store all the dice from that set, so kind of have to live with it at the moment. Looks like we're getting a Breaker and a Celtic Guardian from this. Yes, in fact we are. So there's the Breaker, there's the Celtic Guardian. Kind of building up on the dice card here. Sounds like a bit of a surplus of stuff here, considering the whole, you know, you can only really use 10 cards in the thing. So we have, that is Buster Blader's sword. You can quite easily tell that is Buster Blader's sword. And then there's the headdress for thing, and there's Buster Blader hacking its way through a revival gem, which is inevitably going to bring itself back. So, needless to say, that was kind of a waste of a slash. I was about to put those dice in the bin. No, I'd rather keep my Buster Blader. I'm not too sure if they put Dark Paladin into this game. I do not believe that they did. Okay, we have another Ring of Magnetism and another Injection Fairy Lily. So there's the Magnetism, there's the Fairy Lily with no powers of its own. I'm going to have a look and see what this bloody color coding is like. I can easily, it's very easy for me to grab this bloody shit out. Okay, so the common is grey, the uncommon is green, the rare is yellow, and the super rare is red. So that way we know what the rarities are from, at least from this point onward. Okay, apologies for that delay. Just kind of needed to work that out, and it was going to play on my mind until I actually decided to go for it, so bear with me. Okay, put that in the bin. Next pack. 22 minutes in. This is going to take like a freaking year to convert on Prism. I wish there was a better bloody video converting system. One that would actually work well. And I've just picked up an Egyptian God. Because that right there is Blade Knight, and that right there is a Winged Dragon of Radai. And it is the super rare variant, because you can tell because of the red stripe. So we have our first super rare of the box. And then there's the Blade Knight, which is just a common. I am very happy with that. I'll actually set the Radai aside. And I will also set the Ra card aside, because that is actually a very good pull. Alright, next pack. We have what looks like a Sangan, and what is this other one? A Lord of Dragons. Okay, so that's those two. There's the Lord of Dragons, there's the Sangan with no power whatsoever. We're getting, in this pack, a Trap Hole and a Marshmallow, it seems. There's the Trap Hole, there's the Marshmallow. That's apparently a shallow Trap Hole. Wow. You have to be a moron to get yourself trapped in that shallow Trap Hole, unless someone's definition of shallow is a lot more exaggerated. What is this one? That is a Morphing Jar, alongside a Thousand Dragon. The Thousand Dragon is the rare variety, since it is the yellow stripe, and the Morphing Jar is a common because it's kind of just, like, no effect whatsoever. Yeah, we have a fair amount of dice. Okay, excuse me for one moment while I go and get this dice that just went rogue on me. Oh crap. That is gonna suck. Okay, we're getting a Morphing Jar, and what's the other one? Harpy Lady Sisters. Okay, so I'd like to be able to go and get that, but it looks like it's gone underneath this set of drawers over here, and that's going to take an eternity, so we're just going to move on, and once I'm done with this, I will go back down there and pick it up. So it's just going to have to spend some time down there, unfortunately, because it would involve me having to cut and splice bloody bits of this video together, and I'd rather not do that. I'd really rather not. Okay, where the stupid thing hasn't opened all the way yet. Okay, let's see what we got. We have BLS and Harpy Lady Sisters. That looks pretty good. Cool. Now this is the point where I'm ripping my throat apart. So I believe I will quickly take a sip of this can of drink that I've just picked up for myself. Sorry about that. Alright, next pack. Okay, and we have another Winged Dragon of Ra. Hurrah. And a Dark Magician. This Winged Dragon of Ra is the uncommon version though. It's still the Winged Dragon of Ra though, so I'm not going to complain too much about that. And then there's the Dark Magician. So I'm quite happy with that. And as predicted, the maximum amount for Winged Dragon of Ra is only the 1. So I'm gonna set all Egyptian gods that I pull aside, just because they're Egyptian gods and they're kind of noteworthy, and they seem to be somewhat difficult to pull. For obvious reasons, because I have 2 Ra's, but I'd like to have Obelisk and Slifer as well. Oh jeez, come on, open up. That's the way. Good job, no nuts. Alright, what do we got here? We have a Doom Caliber Knight and a Goblin Attack Force. So there's the Goblin Force, which can't block apparently. And then there's the Doom Caliber Knight, which must cancel this. When the opponent uses an action die, you must cancel the effect and knock out this monster. That's reflective of its old ability as well. You are forced to tribute something when a monster effect is activated. You're forced to tribute it. The Doom Caliber Knight when a monster effect is activated and negates it. That's awesome. Okay. Okay, so it looks like we've got in this Marshmallow and Curse of Dragon. There's the die for them. The dice for them. Oh jeez, drop that pack. Let me grab the pack. There we go. This is a little bit unbalanced, so let me bring it forward just a little touch. Oh jeez. Okay, that works. Now for this pack we have what looks like a Maid Bug and a Breaker the Magical Warrior. There's our Breaker, there's our Maid Bug. And then... jeez. I should probably start opening them from the other side. I'm opening them from the from like this side to this side. I should probably be opening them from the other side because it's kind of annoying. Okay, so it looks like we're getting a Jinzo and a Karibo in this pack. Let me bring up the Karibo face. You can easily tell that's Karibo. There's Jinzo, there is Karibo. Yugi's Protector, apparently. I also forgot to take into account the possibility of this room heating up as I'm doing this. But we'll have to live with that. It's fine. I can just, like, yeah, it's fine. Okay, Jinzo and a Celtic Guardian. That's not too bad. So there's our Jinzo, common, Celtic Guardian, common. Okay, so that was a pack of commons. None of these cards come in any foil rarities either. Just to point out, so there's no like getting all these nice and shiny bloody cards or anything like that. So, oh thank God! I believe this is our first one of this pack, of this box. That is a Dark Magician Girl die. So it looks like we're getting a Dark Magician Girl. It's the common Dark Magician Girl, but who cares? It's a Dark Magician Girl. We're happy. We are the happy. Alright. Okay, we have in this pack a Time Wizard and a Blackluster Soldier. There's our BLS, and there's our Time Wizard. The BLS is, what's that? I believe that's uncommon rarity. That's not too bad. A common plus an uncommon. That guy bloody flew out of the frickin' tub like that. I'd have been pissed. What the hell is that bloody thing? Let me get a closer look at this red dot. Oh, fucking you gorgeous little gem. I do believe that this is a Slifer the Sky Dragon die, alongside a Doom Caliber die. We're about to find out. Yep, and it is the rare version as well. That's awesome. Its only effect is though it's a global effect. Pay a lightning energy to deal 1 damage to target monster. So that's basically just using its second mouth. And then the Doom Caliber die, which has its old anime effect. I mean monster, traditional monster in-game effect. So let me just grab my Slifer, set that aside, and there you go. So we have a Slifer, we have a Ra. Now we just got to wait for the being that represents all torment. And wow, 2 Harpy Lady Sister dice. Are they the exact same ones? Nope. There's the rare and the common. That, I believe, is the first pack we've had that's had 2 of the same die. Or for the most part. The cards are different, obviously, but that I found to be kind of hilarious. Okay. Red Eyes and a Harpy Lady Sisters. So we've got 3 Harpy Lady Sister dice in 2 packs. Oh, that is a brutal Red Eyes effect. I gotta show this off. When it attacks, knock out all sidekicks for both players. Against +2 attack for each sidekick knocked out. So the sidekick die are rather each player gets a number of sidekick die, and each of the sidekick die have a die face that represents basically a pawn in chess, and you can use that to summon basically a sidekick monster. It's not actually really representative of any monsters, but they're basically just there to sort of like provide some kind of defense. So for this one we're getting Sagi versus Gaia. Sagi and Gaia. Sagi versus Gaia. That being said, both times Kaiba summoned Sagi against Yugi, he kicked its ass with Gaia. Okay, open, that's the way. Okay, so it looks like we're getting a couple of Yugi's old classic monsters. We're getting a Cursed Dragon and a Summoned Skull. There we go. Bony Body for Cursed Dragon. Oh wow, when it damages an opponent, it goes back to your bag instead of your used pile. That is awesome. The used pile, yeah, you'd rather have it in your bag so it's more ready for being re-summoned as opposed to it being used. Okay. We have a baby dragon and another summoned skull. So there's our summoned skull, which, oh wow. For the rest of the turn, whenever a lightning monster is summoned by either player, deal 2 damage to a target player. That is awesome. And baby dragon has no abilities because it sucks. Nah, baby dragon's awesome. You can't deny that. Baby dragon is pretty bloody professional. Forgive my sniffling. I've been awake for a very short amount of time. What is this? Well, that's a trap hole. We're getting a trap hole and a baby dragon. There's our baby dragon with an ability. May pay lightning energy to give it +2 attack. That's actually not too bad, especially if it's especially with its level 3 having 4 attacks. That brings it to 6, and there's the trap hole. A deep trap hole. That actually kind of works. Knock out a level 1 monster with a cost of 5 or less. I wasn't aware that there were monsters that had a cost of less than 5. With cost 5 or less. I don't think I've seen anything with a summoning cost higher than 3. Unless it's the cost to purchase the die, in which case that seems fair enough. Another trap hole, and we have what looks like a Blade Knight. I think that's a Blade Knight. There's the deep trap pot. There's the Blade Knight. A lone wolf, apparently. Okay. Let's see what we have in here. 2 Break of the Magical Warrior die. Lovely. Mystical Magus, Mystical Magus, and Mana Break. That's kind of awesome. That seems a situation, although that I'm moving the action die from the field to the used pile. Seems a bit eh. Okay. Right, we have a Man-Eater Bug and a Doom Caliber Knight. That's not too bad. Monster is active, it cannot be the target. I like that cannot be the target one. I think that's a lot better. Do these things even have serial numbers on them? Yeah, they do. Yeah, that one's got 48 on it. So I guess the representative card is number 48. Okay, and we have another Slifer die. There's another Slifer die for us. We have 2 Slifer, 2 Ra, and then the one is a Buster Blader. So let's have a look at our Slifer, which is kind of stuck there. Oh no, that's terrible. Oh, that's terrible. That is not good. I suppose, if anything, this is only the uncommon Slifer, because if that was the super rare Slifer, I'd be pissed. Regardless, that's kind of a bit ugly right there. That's no good. That kind of sucks. That's a bit of a shame. Those things were there, supposed to be there to protect the bloody things, and the card just sort of got stuck to it. Shame, really. Oh well. Okay, we have what looks like a Baby Dragon and a Blade Knight. Wait. Oh, that's Obelisk. I think that's Obelisk. Yeah, that's Obelisk. Sweet! We have all of the Egyptian gods. Hooray! I thought for a second that looked like Blade Knight, but wait, no, that's not Blade Knight. Holy crap, that is Obelisk. Okay. Let's see what's in this pack. A Breaker and a Lord of Dragons, it seems. Yep, there's Lord Dragon with no ability, and the Breaker, which does that bloody action die movement thing. But, yeah. I'd say this box here is a immediate success because I have all of the Egyptian gods. And my pool of dice is building, is coming along rather well. I mean, there should be one more than what is supposed to be in there because of that Harpy Lady die that went flying off into another dimension. But, yeah. I think it was the Harpy Lady sisters, actually. Bloody... Okay, can we... It got caught, it looks like. Yeah, it got bloody caught. Come on, don't do that. And we have a DMG die and a Marshmallow die. There's DMG, the rare one actually, that's actually not too bad, plus the common Marshmallow. What does the rare DMG do? Ooh, that's actually kind of interesting. If it doesn't block when you assign combat damage, then DMG herself can just hit the opponent for its attack value. And the only level on that die that actually requires a cost to summon is level 3, and it requires only 1. That is kind of professional. Oh, we've got another Obelisk. We've got another Obelisk. How's that? Plus another Blade Knight. They seem to be paired up with each other, it seems. And that is the super. That is the super rare one because of the red stripe there. You might barely be able to point that out, but we have 2 of the 4 super rare cards. We might actually have 3. I'm not actually 100% sure. I'm not too sure if any of the 1,000 dragons I've pulled thus far have been supers. I never actually really checked that. But we have at least 2 of the super rare gods. So if Slifer can come out to play sometime today, then that'd be lovely. In the meantime, we get our first Legend die pull, which is this one right here. Whenever you summon a fist monster, you may spin all copies of this monster up 1 level. That is actually freaking awesome. I actually love that. And in the old terms of Yu-Gi-Oh, spin means to frickin' send something back to the deck. 41 minutes. Sweet Jesus. I'm not even going to bother to count the number of our booster packs that are left. We have a Summon Skull and we have a DMG dice. Not too bad. The DMG is the uncommon version. I think it kind of makes sense that this works as a subscriber special, considering like it's taking a freaking eternity. Jinzo and Man-Eater-Bug. There's our Man-Eater-Bug with an ability. Ooh, that's pretty much similar to its in Monster Effect. When summon movable action dice are both placed in the field to the reserve, in the field or reserve pile to the used pile. The reserve pile is basically. Actually, where is the reserve pile? Oh no, the reserve pile is in the reserve pool's where you're using dice that you haven't actually used yet or at all. Come on, open. Ah, jeez. Thankfully that one didn't go flying off somewhere. It is a Sagi the Dark Clown die. To go along with our Dark Magician Girl die. So that's not too bad. Sagi, Dark Magician Girl, they're both commons. Okay. We now have Lord of Dragons and Flame Swordsman. So that's not too bad. If the opponent has more monsters in the field than you do, this guy goes up by 2+ attack and defense. That's kind of cool. Lord of Dragons with no ability. You shucks. You're meant to be in the. You're meant to be in the bloody thing. God. Ah, jeez. Okay. This die contains a Harpy Lady and a Dark Magician. There's the die. There's the cards. A Dark Magician's a common. Yeah, they're both commons. Shame, really. Okay. Let's see what's in here. Man-Eater-Bug and Celtic Guardian, it seems. Yep. There's our Man-Eater-Bug. There's our Celtic Guardian. I have 2 of each Egyptian god. And I'd say I'm probably about maybe halfway through. I'm going to be honest with you here. Ah, jeez. Oh, I might be more than halfway, actually. Now, what the hell is this? Oh, that's the Millennium Rod. And the Buster Blader. So let's see what the Millennium Rod actually does. This card started to take control of one opposing monster till the end of the turn. That is awesome. That is quite awesome. I like that. 6 fist die to actually use to purchase the die, though. That's kind of annoying. Was it going to be blocked by monsters with dragon in their title? That's interesting. Okay. tell you what, the longer this goes on, the more likely I am probably to get interrupted. That's going to be a suckish part. What have we got here? Buster Blader and Ring of Magnetism, it looks like. There's our Magnetism, there's our Buster Blader. Both of which are commons. Actually, no, the Ring of Magnetism is a rare. Not too bad. What do we have here? A Trap Hole and a DMG die. There we go. There they are. There's the Trap Hole, shallow. Knock out all sidekicks on both players' parties. Okay, and DMG. If you have any monsters in your use pile, it gets +2 attack at the start of the damage of the attack step. That's not too bad. Alright, let's try to feed the rest of these through. Yeah, looks like we're on the home stretch. Somewhat home stretch. I reckon there's about maybe 20 packs left. And what do we have in this pack? We have what looks like Sangan and Doom Calibanite. Okay. There's a Sangan which actually has an ability. When it gets knocked out, you may return a monster other than this one from your used pile to your prep area. That's actually kind of cool. Doom Calibanite. I think one thing with that Doom Calibanite is when it knocks itself out, it goes to the prep area, so you can just re-roll the die. So if you keep doing that, then that actually be pretty awesome. We have a third Slifer, the Sky Dragon, and I've actually got a really good feeling about this one. We have then the Lajin. Now let's see what our Slifer's like. It is the that's the uncommon version. Okay, that sucks. You can pay a 1 life to spin a die up 1 level. That is actually kind of awesome, and there is thing. So 3 Slifer die. And it's a kind of a waste because you can only have a single Slifer die attached to a Slifer card. Since that is the limit. Makes sense being an Egyptian god and it's all freaking powerful and shit. But, you know. Okay, we have a Time Wizard and we have a Dark Magician Girl. So, there's the die. And then the Time Wizard. And then there's the Dark Magician Girl. They're both commons as well. Shame. No rare cards. Or rare die for that matter. Okay, what have we got? We got Time Wizard and we got Lord of Dragons. So there's our Time Wizard. Same thing as in the earlier pack plus Lord of Dragons. Slide those in there like that. Nearly there. Nearly there. Red Eyes Black Dragon plus a Time Wizard. That's not too bad, I suppose. Time Wizard. That's the third straight Time Wizard of that variety I've pulled. And that Inferno Fire Blast at Red Eyes is a common, surprisingly enough. I don't think the rarity actually needs to matter that much because from what I can see, pulling the same card is actually somewhat difficult. I'm actually amazed that I pull 3 at the same time, Wizard, assuming they are the exact same card with the same title and everything. Here we have a Dark Magician Girl. Dark Magician, regular Dark Magician plus a Lajin. There's our Lajin, which does the spinning thing. Active at the beginning of each turn, lose 1 life and draw 1 extra die. Oh, that's kind of cool. That is an interesting Dark Magician. Pay your own life to be able to roll more dice. Okay. Come on. Get in here. Get into this pack. That's the way. Not going to go any further with that because I've already got... Okay. We have what looks like a Goblin Attack Force and a Sangan. There's our Sangan with no ability, and there's our Goblin Attack Force with... It must attack if able. If a level 2 or higher monster damages you, that monster gets knocked out. Well, the Goblin Force itself gets knocked out. Goblin Force kind of sucks. kind of reflective of the whole having 2300 attack points for a regular normal summonable monster. Marshmallow and Lord of Dragons. No ability for either of them. That was a sucky pack. Okay, what have we got in here? We have a BLS and Trap Hole. That's kind of cool. BLS, Trap Hole, yay. Get a load of that. That's all the dice I've pulled so far. How's that for ridiculous? Okay, let's pull all these packs out. How many have we got left? Oh god. There's still a few in there. I mean, we're getting there. We're almost done. But, you know, there's still a few in there. Guy of the Fierce Knight and Buster Blader. It's hard to tell out the Guy of the Fierce Knight, but you can tell just because of the cards that reveal. The Buster Blader was an uncommon. Uncommon. That's what I'm trying to say. Next pack. Let's go. Okay, what do we got in this one? Blue Eyes White Dragon and Buster Blader. Both of which are commons. That's not a bad Buster Blader card if your opponent doesn't have any dragons. You can just swing freely with Buster Blader. It's just being able to get it on the board because it probably will cost you some energy to actually summon the damn thing each and every time. So, okay, we have a Harpy Lady and a Goblin Attack Force. Both of which are commons. So that was a sucky pack. Not as bad as the one with the Sangan and Lord of Dragons, neither of which had any abilities. So I suppose that's not so bad. What have we got? We have a Summon Skull and we have a Sagi the Dark Clown. There we go. And, okay, so the Sagi was an uncommon. The Summon Skull was a regular common. Alright. What is in here? We have a third Obelisk the Tormentor alongside a Blue Eyes White Dragon. How's that for awesome? And our Obelisk is the rare version. I believe that is all three versions of Obelisk the Tormentor. That is actually quite awesome. What about the Slifers? Yeah, two of the yeah, one rare, two uncommon. One of each Obelisk, and then there's an uncommon and a super Winged Dragon of Ra. I'm not too sure if there is actually a rare version of Winged Dragon of Ra. I know there is a super version of Slifer the Sky Dragon I'd like to get my hands on, but you know, those are the breaks, really. We have, what is this? A Blue Eyes and a Baby Dragon. Baby Dragon is a rare, actually, and the Blue Eyes is a common. Jeez. Come on. Okay, we have Buster Blader plus Ring of Magnetism. The rare Buster Blader, actually, and the Ring of Magnetism is a common. So it looks like you're guaranteed at least one common. And the other one is any sort of rarity possible, so it's possible to get just 2 commons a pack, or just a common and, like, a rare or something like that. So there's obviously going to be a ratio for like how many packs, like what the ratio for like 1 in like 20 something for a super rare or some shit. We have Cursed Dragon and Baby Dragon. So these last handful of packs are giving me a lot of dragons. These are both commons, unfortunately. Looks like our after this, we'll be down to our last 5 packs, I think. What have we got here? A 4th Obelisk the Tormentor, and again, it's alongside a Blue Eyes. And this is the uncommon version, alongside a common Blue Eyes. 4 Obelisk the Tormentors. And you know what? I put my 3rd Obelisk in the frickin' bloody pile with all the other dice. Shouldn't have done that. Don't worry, I managed to find it. Okay, what is in this one? A Millennium Puzzle and a Goblin Attack Force. The Millennium Puzzle is that's the uncommon, I believe, and the common Goblin Attack Force. Not bad. Alright, exactly how many packs do we have? Okay, that is the confirmation. We are down to our final 5 packs. Okay, now we have Injection Fairy Lily and La Jinn. Injection Fairy Lily is an uncommon. And we're nearly an hour into this. Holy crap. We have Dark Magician Girl and a Morphing Jar. Please have an effect of some variety, Morphing Jar. No, I didn't think you would. What's DMG's ability? Ah, the +1 attack for each used pile monster. That's not too bad. Okay. Open it from this side because that other side's going to be annoying. Harpy Lady and Jinzo. Yep, Harpy Lady and Jinzo. So there's our Jinzo. Common. They're both commons. Yeah, whatever. Just we're nearly at the home stretch and I'd like to be able to get this done. Okay. Here we go. The long haul is nearly over. Come on. Let her rip. Okay, Celtic Guardian and Ring of Magnetism. That's not too bad. I was about to say Ring of Destruction, but no. Ring of Magnetism, Celtic Guardian. And then, after we put that away, pack number 90, the final pack. What do we get? We get a Blade Knight and a Flame Swordsman. So we're not getting the super rare Slife of the Sky Dragon, unfortunately. We're going to end with an uncommon plus a common there. So, let's just have a look again at the smorgasbord that is the amount of dice that we have. God damn. There are exactly 180... There are exactly 170 dice in this. At least I assume that there is. There should be 90 packs in there. So there should be 170 dice in this. So the other 10, there's the one Harpy Lady Sisters that's probably down, like right down in there somewhere. Plus there's all the Egyptian God dice that I pulled, and I just dropped my phone. Looks like. So yeah, 4 Obelisk, 2 Ra, and 3 Slifer. Not a bad haul when it comes to Egyptian gods, and there's all the cards. And I might as well, hang on, bear with me. Show off the super rare versions. Our Obelisk and Ra super rares that we pulled. These must be hella rare if you're only going to get 2 of them per box. So, excuse the ghetto style stuff. And yes, that's the other pile of cards that I've pulled. But then again, it's not exactly a surprise seeing a pile of cards this big. I've seen bigger piles of cards. This is me when I play the late Yu-Gi-Oh! So, it is what it is. So, for those of you who have managed to stick around for the entirety of this 1 hour in length, I offer great gratitude. And hopefully you enjoyed me cracking open and getting these things open and getting some pretty decent luck. I hope you enjoyed that. I know far too much about the old game of Yu-Gi-Oh! Enough to bloody identify each and every single die I mean, I was able to identify a handful of them just because of other booster pack openings and stuff like that, but yeah, what can I say? This was this was actually quite a ride. It was enjoyable for me. I only had to take one drink throughout the entirety of the thing, and that actually managed to keep me from ripping my throat apart. At this point now, I wish I could say I'm going to put my voice to rest, but I've got to go and record another segment of Metroid Prime because I have one more segment to upload this week, and I have to do it today. So, without further ado, I'm going to bring an end to this video since it has officially passed an hour in length. Cheers, I guess, and see you for whatever it is I do next, if I do decide to do anything further. I think I'll probably do a band list opinion video sort of thing. But yeah, see you later.